And now we're going to move over to the third tab on the Preferences page, and that is the User tab. This one's great because this is how you set up the desk to basically work the way you want it to work. So any of these things can be changed and saved to your show file as you need them. The Display Rotary Values checkmark allows you to go to any of the pages, and anything you touch now will pop up a window that'll give you any kind of designation, whether it's in pan, in your dynamic control, in your gain control, frequency designation. This is a great thing to do. I like to tell most users, turn this on while you're setting up the desk, and then when you start your show, turn it off. Because I think too many times people tend to start believing and looking at that pop-up box more than they should during their show time. That's why the Midas set up with the one knob, one function. It's easier to grab the knob, find the 0 point that you need, maybe go turn that off, and then use those crazy things on the side of your head called your ears to actually make the adjustments during the show. Back to the Preferences page, Fast Zone Delay Control. So every input and output on the console has a delay control for their channel level or the output level. This checkmark allows you to use the gain knob at the top of the page for two different functions. Gain, which would be digital trim and your analog trim. And if I press that gain swap button again, now I have delay control for each channel pulled up on the screen. This is a quick way to do a lot of channels at one time. It all reads in milliseconds, so you can really dial it in down to a 1/10 and a 100th of a millisecond, so you can delay all your channels very accurately. The next two boxes down are Input Select Follow Solo and Output Select Follow Solo. Our monitor engineers live by this function. The reason I say that is because most monitor engineers with their Q-Wedge or their in-ears or even using a set of headphones like to go through their mix by soloing what mix they're on or soloing what channel they're on. This allows you to select that channel or that output that you're mixing on into the screen and into the GUI so you can start working on it right away, opposed to having to do two steps where you would select and solo to get to that function so you can get to it in one step instead of two. Automate paging. A little bit hard to explain, but if you're writing scenes of automation and you have many scenes built, if you're automating from next to next scene, you can automate the page to be something different in the sections that you need it to according to where you save the show. So if I am working on my drums right now and I store that thing to the next scene and I have the automate paging ticked, now in the next scene, if I need these channels to go to my guitar channels and I hit store to the next scene, that will automate my paging. So now I have my guitars here, and if I go back, it'll bring my drums up on that layer. If I do not have automate paging ticked on the Preferences page, when I go to the next scene, they will just stay as those drums that I had in the scene previously. Touch navigation of detail area. Now there's no sensitivity control on the desk, so what this allows you to do is to go to a channel level and to be able to just touch the area that you want to navigate to without having to actually go and select these little clear buttons to go through the channel level. This is great for when you learn the console and you want to get to something very quickly. You can just go touch the area and the GUI will navigate to that section as well. For new users, I suggest turning this off, because what you're going to do is be adjusting something and your knuckles or your hand or something else will touch a section that you don't want to navigate to, and that's frustrating. So for our users who've been on the console a little bit before and they know where they need to get to touch really quickly, this is a great function to be able to turn on and off.